listening to the Fit Mind, Fit Body podcast, where we explore the connection between a fit body and positive mental health. And our big mission? It's to help 10,000 runners to develop fitter minds in the next 2 years. I'm your host, Michelle Frost. Let's get moving. Welcome to episode number 36 of the Fit Mind, Fit Body podcast. In this episode, we speak to Josh Slocum. Josh is only 16 and a very enthusiastic runner. Enjoy. All right, today on Fit Mind, Fit Body, I am so excited to have Josh Slocum. Not only is Josh a lovely young friend of mine, he's also the youngest person that I have interviewed. Welcome, Josh.
Thank you for joining, helping me, letting me in.
It is an absolute pleasure. In fact, I have been very excited to have you, and I know that you've been excited to be on the podcast too. Am I right?
Yeah, I am very excited.
Yay. All right. So, Josh, I started off by saying you're the youngest person on podcast. How old are you?
16.
16. And I think did I meet you last year or the year before? Feels like you've been around forever.
Yeah, 2019 when I first joined.
Oh, there you go. It is forever then. So before COVID.
Yeah, well
before. Wow. So you've been running with the club for since you were 14. So not for 14 years, but 14. Excellent. All right. Let's start with, so we know how old you are. Where do you live? Tell us a little bit about Josh, not so much the running side, but about you.
So I live in Riverside, grew up in Riverside.
Yeah.
We've been down Exeter way.
Yeah.
Played a bit of footy.
Yeah.
Then just the last few years got more into running.
Okay. So
just school and stuff.
What school are you at?
Launceston Christian School.
What do you want to do when you leave school? Do you know?
I'd like to head to uni and do more sport.
So what kind of stuff in sport do you think would be fun?
Just probably coaching, running and stuff. Maybe a bit of footy.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. How many brothers and sisters do you have?
2 brothers, 1 younger sister.
Which one's the best runner of all of you?
Like to say me. Cam's getting better as he started this year.
He's a bit regular, isn't he? Now he's become regular at the club. You get a bit more, when you're consistent, don't you? You get a bit better.
Yeah,
you can see it. All right. So why did you start running? Like, when did you start running? Tell me about that.
I think it was back in 2014 or 2015. I just after a footy, I got invited to a park run.
Yeah.
And I just run walks, and because there was breakfast after, so I thought I'd do a few. And I just really liked it, enjoyed it. It was good, didn't hurt. So I just kept going.
And the breakfast was good too?
Yeah, it was.
And so did you make friends there, like at the park run?
Oh yeah, I had a few friends and buddies and stuff that used to go weekly and just started running, jogging with them. Okay.
So you started at parkrun because somebody invited you along. Now, I happen to know your mum runs too. So I just assumed she dragged you along with her. But so you didn't start because your mum sort of said to come? Oh, cool. Was it the other way around?
Yeah, just invited and just tagged along, I guess.
Okay.
To check it out and stuff.
And then when did you start running more with your mum?
Probably a year after. I started doing a little bit more kilometres.
Mm-hmm.
Twice a week. Went to Buddies.
Yeah.
Just walking and stuff. And just doing 5Ks.
Yeah. What do you like at Buddies? What's your favourite part of Buddies?
Just everyone around just chatting and stuff after. Catching up.
You like the social part?
Yeah. More than natural running.
That's funny. So for those of you who don't know, because we have people who listen from all over the world, Buddies is a local running group. Is that what you would call it, Josh?
Yeah, a gathering, I guess.
So tell people a bit more about what does the buddies do? How often do they meet and how far do they run?
So Tuesday nights we meet at Sea Park, do between 5 and 8K, different course each week.
Wow.
And then Sunday mornings we do a bit longer one, between 10 and 20.
Okay.
But just different options.
So when you turn up, do they just tell you which direction you're going in?
Yeah. Strotty usually gives like a course and have a photo.
Okay.
And then but there are different stops along the way.
So everybody, the fastest people will wait for the next group to catch up to them and then start off again. Is that how it works?
Yeah. Strotty waits about probably like 2 or 3K in. We'll wait until everybody's there and then we choose which way to go. Just different routes.
Why do you think you've kept running? Because a lot of teenagers, they might run because they were kind of good at it at school for a little while, and then they stop because other things take over their life, whether it's other sport or just other activities, or they just want to play the Xbox. What about for you? Why do you think you've kept going?
Probably just for the fitness and I've made a lot of friends there. I like improving. Just want to keep going.
What is it about your fitness? What does that give to your life? Why do you want to be fit? Just
like being active, I guess.
Yeah.
Gives me mental health as well.
Yeah. So have people noticed at school over the last couple of years that you seem to be a bit fitter or a bit faster or a bit more active?
Really, a little bit. They don't really say a lot. They just ignore about it.
Do they? What about at school when you have like running events? Do you compete in those?
Yeah. I did a few running mates that do really well in there.
Yeah.
And I just stick on with them, I guess.
Do you enjoy them at school, or is it much better when you do it, with the bigger groups outside of school?
Oh, it's all right at school, but I do enjoy the bigger groups, like with the adults.
Yeah. Because for us, for everyone listening, Josh has been he hasn't even been running with the juniors since he started at 14. He's been running the longer distances at the Launceston Running Club with all of the adults for pretty much most races. You've done that. And so, that's pretty impressive for all of us, keeping an eye on you and seeing what you're up to. And how far you've come as well, since 2019, since you were 14 and now 16. You've just shown such strength and an ability to be consistent, which a lot of adults probably don't see that in teenagers that much. So we're all trying to work out what secret Josh has that makes him, be able to apply to something like this. You don't have to do it. And it's kind of not a team sport, really, is it? So it's not like you let the team down when you don't turn up, but you've really adopted it, which has been an awesome thing to see. I assume you've felt that in your life too.
Yeah, I feel like if I'm not like doing my best and letting myself down, not anyone else, just trying to do it for myself, I guess.
So I know that you now have a coach. So when did you start with Tim?
Probably around August last year, halfway through the season, or just as the season started due to COVID.
Yeah.
That wanted to improve more and do more during the week, because I had free time.
So were you kind of looking for structure? What was it that you thought a coach would help you with?
Just a few more runs during the week and just motivation to keep running and improving.
Where do you want your running to go?
I like to do more longer distances. So like marathons, ultra marathons.
Wow.
But as well, keep my speed going too on the shorter ones.
So your goal is to run marathons and ultra marathons. When do you think you'll start? Well, what's the recommended age? Is it 18 for a marathon?
Yeah, for a race.
Is there any particular ones that you have your eye on?
I'd like to go to New York and do that one.
Yeah.
In a few years.
Pretty cool.
But I don't know about COVID and stuff.
Yeah. Well, hopefully you just get a passport which says, yes, I've been vaccinated, and I'll let you do things. Yeah. Who knows? That seems to be what everyone's talking about. So what kind of running do you like? Like I've seen you running on the road a lot. Do you do any trail? Are you interested in that as well?
Oh, yeah, a little bit, but it's different on ankles and knees.
Mm-hmm.
I like that as a bit of fun,
Mm-hmm.
but I do prefer the road.
Yeah. Why do you think you prefer the road? What is it about it?
I've just been doing it for the last few years, like since I started. So used on my ankles and knees.
Yeah.
I can do more kilometers and stuff.
Mm-hmm. What do you have in your ears when you're running?
Nothing. I don't really listen to music.
Oh, there you go. So you don't listen to music.
No.
So you literally don't listen to anything then because you don't have any headphones in. That's what we're saying.
I just run.
So if that's the case, what are you listening to in your head? Like what thoughts are you having? What kind of thoughts do you have when you run, especially if you don't have anyone right next to you chatting away?
Usually just my training this week that Tim's put on.
Yeah.
Just what I have the next few days.
Yep. So you're
Or
thinking about your training?
Yeah.
Yeah. How about what your body's doing? Are you thinking about that a little bit?
Yeah, usually when my legs hurting.
Yeah.
Just try and keep pushing, not stopping and stuff.
So if say there's something annoying happening in your life, something stressful, maybe you've got a bit of homework on and you're not sure if you're going to get time to do it or whatever. Do any of those, or maybe your mum said you haven't done the dishes lately and she's grumpy with you or something. Do you find any of those kind of, just normal life stresses? Do you ever think about those while you're running, or do you more think about?
Oh, yeah, sometimes. I try and forget about it though.
Oh, yeah.
And just run.
So it's a time for just clearing your head and focusing on your running, I suppose.
Usually just think about like LRC season if I have a race coming up.
Oh, no, because we just finished the season. You've got like 6 months to go before you can think about it again. Wow. So I know that you run with people. Do you often run by yourself? That was another question I was interested in.
A little bit, but I do prefer to run in the group.
Yeah.
More socially and stuff, just catch up.
Yeah. So you like that social aspect. Plus, what about the competitive side? I think you're a little competitive. What do you think?
Always. Yeah, I like to be competitive.
So who do you think you're competitive with, more yourself or other people?
Bit of both, I reckon. I like racing other people. When LRC and stuff, you just try and catch up to people.
Mm-hmm.
But during the week, more against myself.
Yeah.
And times.
What other kind of things does Tim set you to do in your training?
A bit of gym stuff sometimes, but usually a bit of speed.
Yeah. And other things that aren't running, apart from gym? Did you say something about cycling? Do you have to go cycling this afternoon?
Yeah.
So is that to like cross train? Is that why your coach is getting you to do those things?
Just endurance and stuff.
Yeah. Injuries. You're still so young. It always feels funny to ask younger people things like this. But have you had any injuries?
No, not really.
Touch wood.
I've had a few like little ankle niggles and stuff. Kept me out for a few weeks, but not major injuries.
How did you feel when you couldn't run for those few weeks?
Very annoying. Just walking everywhere.
So you kept moving, you kept doing things. Yeah.
A bit of swimming and stuff.
All right. In your family, it seemed to me, at least, that first it was your mum and you, and then your sister, and then your brother. Is that kind of how did everyone get involved? It seemed, like it was just the two of you at first for the first year or two, and then your sister and your brother coming along. What kind of made them decide that? Do you think?
Oh, they were just thought the running club was like really fun because they like coming to watch and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt like everyone was being really nice and supporting, so they wanted to be a part of it.
Okay. And now they're really enjoying it, or they seem to be? They sort of stuck with it all year?
Yeah, they're really enjoying it, and they just like the fun aspect of it.
Okay. That's awesome. So how do you feel? Can you remember a time in your family before running club? I'm sure you can because it's only like 2 or 3 years ago. But How does it feel in your family now, do you think, now that you're all sort of got this thing that you do together through winter for a start, which is kind of fun? You go out as a family, but also you're all kind of have your own running bits as well, the sort of healthy aspects.
Yeah, it's a little different, but we all used to like go out to play footy and stuff, I guess,
Okay.
to watch and stuff. So we all hang out as a family. It's just different because we're all participating, I guess, now in running.
That's really nice. I love that you guys are a family that stick together, play together. And as you said, you can't all be on the footy field at the same time, but you can all come out for a run. So yeah, that's awesome. It's just taking that sort of family connection one step further, isn't it? Because you can all do that same activity.
Yeah.
Josh, how long do you think you'll run for? Which is a crazy question to ask a 16-year-old.
Oh, I actually don't know. I want to keep going until I obviously can't.
Yep.
Sometimes your legs can't.
So you can't imagine a time, as long as your body is physically able, you can't imagine a time when you won't, have running in your life as a hobby or whatever.
Yeah, I want to keep going as long as I can.
Mm-hmm. What kind of things do you want to do with your running? Do you want to, you already talked about going to university and perhaps doing some kind of sporting kind of degree. Is that, so therefore you're helping other people with it, but you've talked about wanting to, you're having your own goals for marathons and things. So what kind of things, if I say to you, what do you want to do with your running? What kind of goals you have for it? What do you think are the most important things? Is it helping other people to be introduced to running or sport? Or is it, to achieve some of your marathon and ultra marathon type of goals?
Probably just like having fun and doing it with others.
Mm-hmm.
Not just more like longer distances, just shorter stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Not just my own goals, just like other people's.
Yeah. Yeah. It does seem like the social side's pretty exciting for you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And just keep going, I guess.
Yeah. Well, I think you're doing pretty amazing. Before you race, because I know that you've done things apart from the running club too, haven't you? You entered things like the Launceston.
Yeah. I've done all those races.
Running festivals and stuff. Do you get nervous at all? Do you get,
Nah, usually pretty calm.
Yeah.
Because I've done them before.
So
just like a normal run.
Do you feel like I've done the training for this? This will be fine, or is it, as you said, you've done them before and you're not stressed about it?
Yeah, it's usually pretty calm about it.
Yeah.
Just pretty chill.
Do you have like special routines before you do a run?
Usually, just Tim is always there before, because he coaches me, Mum, and Andrew and Georgie.
Yeah.
So we all get there before race and do like a 2-way warm up.
Okay.
And get ourselves ready, I guess, for the race.
So you would be able to remember before you had a coach, you really noticed the difference back having that sort of structured warm up before your race?
Yeah.
Really helps.
Yeah, before I'd probably just like stand around and do a few stretches.
Yeah.
Now it's more like scheduled, I guess.
And you enjoy that?
Yeah.
If you have to look back, can you remember a time in your running that you could describe that felt amazing, whether it was a race or just a training run?
Probably it was this really good training run I did with a few of the buddies, a long trail 30K run.
Wow.
In the summer.
Yeah.
That was really enjoyable.
So that was on a trail?
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think, what made it more enjoyable than, say, your normal training run with the buddies?
Probably because it wasn't focused on speed, just more kilometres.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just a good day, I guess, up to Vallon.
And you felt good?
Yeah.
Like your body felt good at the time, I guess? Yeah,
I just felt really good.
And what were you,
the day after?
What were you seeing around you at the time?
Just like the lakes and stuff.
Yeah.
In the bush area.
So do you think that kind of helps take your mind off
Yeah.
That you're running
Scenery.
sometimes. Yeah. Yeah. I love that. Sometimes when I'm running, the things that distract me the most are, the little birds that are flying around or something, some flower or just something in the environment is can be very distracting and useful to take your mind off what you're doing. So what about food? So lots of people are interested in what we eat before we do, especially a longish run or racing. Do you have any routines around that stuff?
Probably just banana a few hours before a race and some water the night before. But otherwise, nothing else really.
Otherwise, you just do it.
Yeah, just run.
You're lucky because you're young, you can get away with a lot more.
Suppose so.
All right. So tell me about your running with your mum, because a lot of people will be interested in that. Did you do a lot of training with your mum earlier on? Like I know that you run now with the buddies and things like that. And how's that worked for you?
Yeah, used to do most of my runs with her. Now I just do 1 or 2 a week.
Oh. You okay?
Yeah.
I know some people who think that was funny.
Yeah, I usually just do 1 or 2 a week.
Yeah.
With her, usually Sunday mornings.
Okay. And you take it easy on her now?
Yeah, have to.
Yeah. Otherwise you don't get any dinner?
Yeah.
How do you think running has improved your life?
Oh, it's helped me different aspects of life, like think about different stuff, I guess. Different points of view.
So you can remember what it was like before you ran, I assume.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and you did used to play sport because you said you used to play football. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So do you feel like the running gives you a bit more than the football does, or sort of a similar kind of, stuff going on in your head and your body feeling, physically fit? Do you feel a bit more together, or is it kind of similar?
Probably more focused on me.
Okay.
And what I want and stuff, and how much I want to effort I want to put in training. Not so about the team.
Yeah. So it's more of an individual.
Yeah.
Goal. What is it about running that you like the most, do you think?
Probably like the kilometers you run, just and like the speed, how much you can improve over like a year or so.
You've definitely improved with consistency for sure. I had a really good question a second ago, and it's run away from me. I hate that. That's literally, it's run away from me. All right. So if somebody said to you, Josh, I want to start running, what would you say to them?
Give it a try, I guess. If you don't like it, then you can stop and just like have fun.
So to get started, you tell someone to give it a go and to have fun with it.
And just start off slow and build it up.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good idea. It keeps escaping me. I have the question and then it runs away. What do you do when you don't want to go out the door, when you don't want to go for a run, when the weather is horrid or you're just tired? What do you do? What gets you out the door?
I just try and push through. Think about when I finish, how good it will feel. And usually just look back at my training I've done last week.
Yeah.
And how much that hurt, but I still did it.
You still did it. And you can put up with that, feeling uncomfortable every week for the rest of your life. Like you feel more than able to do that. Is that right?
Yeah. And if I do that run through like a hard weather or something, then I can do anything during a race. I can just push.
Yeah. What kind of race goals do you have? I know you said you want to do like some longer distances and things. What kind of race goals do you have? So the faster speed ones rather than the long distance ones.
I'd like to do sub 20 for a 5. I can do 22 at the moment. And try and get near the 35 minutes for a 10.
Wow.
Which would take a while.
Yeah, I remember wanting to do that when I was in my 20s. And I did get under 20 minutes for a 5 when I was in my 20s. It was a very long time ago. And I'm sure that you'll do that, Josh, because you've got heaps of amazing people in your corner who can, show you the path to get there. And you're so consistent with everything you do. I think that is probably some of the secret to being able to run well and run for a long time. And that's that consistency. And you're really good at that consistency. You just keep plugging away.
I try to be anyway.
Do you find that's how you think about it yourself? That knowing that you just need to be consistent?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Just trying to keep going, I guess, and do the same every run.
Do you have any idols in running? Anybody that you look at and go, oh, one day I'll grow up and be like that person, maybe?
Not really. I just look at like the athletes.
Yeah.
I guess. But do a bit of comparing. See how quick they were like this age.
Yeah. So you like stats? Looking at the statistics?
Just look how much they've improved over like 5 years.
So you use a watch, I'm assuming, when you finish your runs. Yeah. When you finish your runs, do you, is that one of the first things you do is download it to your phone?
Yeah, put on Strava.
And look at the stats yourself and see, oh, I could have done better there, or I did great there, or yeah.
Just look at the pace and like the splits.
Mm-hmm.
Usually.
So this is an interesting question. When you look at those things, if they're not quite the way you want them to be, because maybe you didn't run as fast as you'd hoped, what do you say to yourself? Do you get grumpy with yourself, or do you just move on and go, I'll just do better next time? Or does it, you just feel a bit annoyed at the time?
A little bit annoyed.
Mm-hmm.
But then I'll just go again like next week or something, try and be better.
Yeah. So you don't kind of dwell on it. You just go, oh, well, next time. That's good, because if you dwell on it for too long, that can be a negative as well, can't it?
Yeah.
So what about when you do well? When you get a PB, how do you feel then?
Oh, I usually feel all right.
Yeah.
I don't really care that much, just running.
Yeah. Yeah. So how does running make you feel?
Tired.
Tired. Excellent. And so on the days when you're not like dead tired from your running, what other ways could you describe your running that it makes you feel, or knowing that you can run? So if you say, I could run from school into town, like I know where your school is because my kids used to go there. So if you could run into town, what is that? Maybe 7K or something like that?
Yeah, 7-8K.
Yeah. So there's a lot of kids your age who would not even consider doing that as for fun. And if the teacher said, hey, we're off for a 7K run, they would not be happy. Whereas you do it because you want to. So why, I guess it's the why do you run? And it's not just for your physical health and things. There must be a feeling that running gives you that that makes you keep wanting to do it. Like it's a part of who you are now, isn't it?
Just something I can talk about.
Yeah.
And help others, I guess.
Yeah.
Learn to run.
I live about 20 kilometers from town on the West Hamer Highway. And when I was in my 20s and I first ran into town, ran that 20 kilometers, I just remember thinking, wow, if I can run all the way into town and not go on a bike or in a car, then I can do all kinds of things. So there's that kind of empowering feeling that you get when you go for a run especially over a distance that's usually most people do in a car or a bus or a bike or something. Do you ever have those thoughts, or is that just I'm just strange for having those thoughts?
No, yeah, you get a little bit when you do really long distances like that. You think you can go further.
Yeah. Yeah. Excellent. So, Josh, is there anything about your running journey that we haven't talked about that you would really like people to know?
I should probably do more short course.
Yeah, why?
Oh, just speed.
Yeah. So people may not understand it. People from the Launceston Running Club will understand what Josh is talking about. But everyone else, Josh, at the running club, we have an option to run a 2.5, the short course, which I think is what Josh is talking about. And his siblings, his sister and his older brother, that's mostly at the moment what they've been doing. Whereas Josh has been, as I said, running the longer runs, which is 5 up to, did you do the 21 last year? Kind of feel like you did. Feel like we said you could do that. So Josh has been running all those distances and everything in between. And I guess he's realized that when you run a bit shorter, you also train yourself to run a bit faster, which can then, that speed can be taken into longer distances as well. Is that what you're kind of saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's interesting. It'll be interesting to see you do a few more short courses next year as your interval or speed work to make you go faster.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
Will your brother be happy to have you running in the short course with him?
Yeah, he doesn't care.
Oh, that's all right then. That's excellent. It's all sorted. So I know your mum and you both are doing regular training. How about your sister and your brother?
No, they don't do a lot. Cam goes to the gym a little bit.
Okay.
So that's basically his training. Oh, he plays a bit of basketball.
Yeah. So that's all he does. That's cool. All right. So if there isn't anything else that you would like to share about your running journey, which seems so, it's just starting and it's very exciting. Your running journey.
Still ages.
I know. It's awesome. So I would probably say to you, don't wear yourself out so that you can run forever, so keeping that kind of mentality that, you want to be able to run forever being the ultimate goal, to be able to run for as long as your body lets you. So it's that kind of just taking things a bit easy and not wearing yourself out too much. But I think it's amazing what you've done, Josh, and what you're doing and the enthusiasm that you bring. So yeah, it's awesome. Thank you for being on Fit Mind, Fit Body. It has been a delight to hear from you and your enthusiasm for running. So thanks, Josh.
Thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure. Stay on and I'll just say goodbye to you off as well. Thank you for listening to the Fit Mind, Fit Body podcast. I'd love to talk to you about your running journey. So send me a message on Facebook or on the website and let's do it. For a bunch of resources on mindful running that will help you get and stay mentally and physically fit, head over to the website fitmindfitbody.co and I'll see you there. Plus, I'll be back here in your podcast player a few times a week. Hit subscribe now so that you don't miss an episode. And before you go, I'd really appreciate it if you'd leave a review. It'll help more people to find the podcast and get inspired to start running. I'll see you soon. Bye.